Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Fake Fox Theories. I'm not real, and today we are talking about the new mascot horror game on the scene, Indigo Park. I've been looking forward to this game's first chapter release for a while now, and I must say that it did not disappoint. The characters were charming, the environments looked great and were well laid out, the gameplay was engaging, I had a blast playing it. So much so that I've gone through it about 3 times now, and in true mascot horror game fashion, there's quite a bit lurking beneath the surface. And I'm not just talking about Finley. Being a short first chapter, there's not a ton of explicit lore to piece together yet, but there are some things that stand out. And I'm not just talking about hints toward the story, though there is a lot to unpack there. Today, I'm focusing on some strange details that just don't quite add up. So let's hop onto Rambley's Railway. Please keep all hands and feet inside the cart and get ready to ride into the world of Indigo Park. When we load up the game, we get an intro sequence showing us talking to a friend on Discord, or Harmony as they so cleverly call it, of our character, Ed, approaching the park, and news articles about the park's sudden closure. Something I noticed during this journey is that the entrance we go through is for Rambley Wranglers, which we learn at the end of the chapter is the title given to employees of the park. However, once gameplay begins, we're at the front of the park, where guests would enter. What would be the point of an employee entrance if it just takes you to the normal guest entrance? Not to mention, before we even get to the Wrangler Gate, we pass signs stating, "This is not a park entrance." If the whole path we take is explicitly stated to not take us to the park entrance, how do we end up at the park entrance? I could be looking too deep into it, but that feels like a very intentional choice. They wouldn't just say we're going through an employee entrance on accident. It's hard to believe that that's for no reason. The next moment that has little explanation so far is the Rambleberry. In Molly's section of the park, we find an arcade cabinet for Rambley Rush, a seemingly Sonic-inspired platform game that does offer quite a bit of lore. We learn that Salem the Skunk is the villain character of the park and has potions that give them the power to corrupt the other characters, in this case, Molly. There is also a secret ending in Rambley Rush, where if you fall down between two rocks and direct yourself toward the left, you find Molly locked in a cage before the game glitches out and puts you back at the beginning. Obviously, that all has some very strong implications for the story, but right now, I want to focus on the reward you receive after beating the Dark Molly boss fight, a Rambleberry. This Rambleberry isn't a toy or a plushie, it's one of the actual virtual berries from the game. Upon examination at the info kiosk, our player character says, "This thing popped out of the Rambley Rush arcade cabinet. How is this even possible?" Which confirms that this thing should not exist in the physical world. Given that this berry breaks the laws of physics, I think it's safe to assume that its existence means something important. There is something about this park that allows virtual reality and physical reality to coexist. This has huge implications for the story going forward, and I have a sneaking suspicion that this element is going to pop up again in the future. Now, this last one, in my opinion, is the strangest of all. While exploring Molly's area, we find a poodle plushie. Our character remarks, "It's a weird poodle plush. It doesn't seem to be an Indigo product. Sure doesn't look like any character you've seen in the parks. Maybe a child left it behind?" When we show it to Rambley at the info kiosk, he says,
Hey, buddy, did you dig that out of the lost and found, or was it in the trash? No surprise a guest at our park would dispose of a non-Indigo brand toy. I suppose he'd make playtime special for a child with poor taste, though.
"This collectible is super random and out of place. But what if I told you this isn't the only time we see it? When we look at the poodle plush, it has a lion cut, which is a grooming standard that is probably what you picture when you think of a poodle. However, in real life, without that fancy haircut, poodles look like this. Now, with that in mind, if we go all the way back to the very beginning of the game, what do we see on our right-hand monitor? There is a white dog that, to me at least, looks pretty darn poodly. This is such a random and specific detail that it's hard for me to believe that it's just a coincidence. So that begs the question, who is this dog and how is it connected to Ed? And more importantly, if the dog is connected to Ed, what is it doing in the park? While these discrepancies are what stood out to me in particular, they of course are not the only questions that we're left with by the end of the chapter. Why is the park closed down to begin with? Why does our critter cuff stop Lloyd from attacking us? Why is Salem's area of Rambley's Railway destroyed? How is Isaac Indigo's statue able to turn its head to watch us? Why is Molly full of blood? And why is Rambley beefing so hard with Lloyd?
I can be loud, too. Where's my limited edition throwback plush?
Well, while we can start speculating, we really don't have enough content yet to make any solid theories so far. That said, I do know one thing for sure. Unique Geese has done a fantastic job with this game so far, and I can't wait to see more as the rest of the story unfolds. That's all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed screaming into the void with me. And if you did, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Smell you later!